And today, we're examining why India should not join any formal alliance with Russia and China. Because behind the facade of multipolarity lies a power structure that does not serve India's long-term interests. Before we move forward, please like, subscribe, and share Strategic Vanguard, and be up to date with the latest news and happenings from the world of defense and strategic affairs. Tune into our video channels in Rumble and YouTube. And if you want to hear the audio version, please tune into Strategic Vanguard Deep Dive in Spotify. The concept of a Russia-India-China alliance isn't new. It was proposed by Russian strategist Yevgeny Primakov in the 1990s to build a Eurasian alternative to Western dominance. The idea gained diplomatic traction in the early 2000s, with trilateral meetings and symbolic gestures. But even then, it lacked coherence. Fast forward to today, Russia is isolated from the West due to the Ukraine war, and China is locked in strategic competition with the United States. That leaves India as a balancing force, but not an equal partner. Let's be clear, Russia and China are already deeply aligned. From joint military drills in the Pacific to energy deals worth hundreds of billions, they've forged a quasi-alliance that often works against India's strategic interests. In fact, Russia has turned increasingly toward China since Western sanctions hit. Their no-limits partnership is more than symbolic. It's a geopolitical pact that puts India in a secondary position if it joins. India has long championed the idea of strategic autonomy. Not aligning fully with any power bloc has allowed it to maintain independent relations with both East and West. A formal REC alliance would threaten that autonomy. Think about it. How would India's role in the Quad or Indo-Pacific economic framework be perceived if it's also sitting in a camp with China, its main strategic rival? The credibility of India's multilateral diplomacy would suffer. So, what does India gain from joining this alliance? The honest answer is, not much. Russia sells weapons to both India and China. China continues to build infrastructure in disputed territories and blocks India's entry into the Nuclear Suppliers Group and UN Security Council reforms. There is no formal defense guarantee, no shared economic platform, and no common worldview. So why join an alliance where you're the odd one out? The biggest problem with the RIC alliance is China. Not just because of the 1962 war or Galwan clash, but because of China's fundamental strategic objectives. China supports Pakistan militarily, diplomatically, and economically. It expands influence through debt diplomacy across the global south. And it continues to challenge India's rise, be it in BRICS, SCO, or the UN. Joining an alliance with a country that actively seeks to contain you is not strategy, it's self-sabotage.